Hello and welcome to official Xbox 360 Magazine's OXM Report, and this week we're talking to Remedy about the future of Alan Wake and what they make of Rockstar's take on Max Payne 3. So I'm here with Oskari Hakkinen from Remedy, and you guys have just finished work on Alan Wake's American Nightmare for Xbox 360. Tell me about how it differs from the main Alan Wake game.
Well, yeah, so Alan Wake's American Nightmare, it's a standalone spin-off experience. That means that anybody can jump on board, pick up and play, and enjoy it, even if they've never played the first Alan Wake. So that means that anybody can give it a go. So, I mean, there is some differences there. Alan Wake was inspired more by Stephen King and Lost, and tipping our hats to Alfred Hitchcock and so forth. American Nightmare is more of a pulp action adventure. So we're taking inspiration from Quentin Tarantino, from Dusk Till Dawn. It's kind of classic sci-fi, Route 66, kind of classic Americana.
And in terms of the plot, he's kind of trapped inside a Twilight Zone style TV show, is that right?
Right, so the backstory goes, for those people that have played Alan Wake before, there was this in-game TV show called Night Springs. Now the backstory goes that early on in his career, Alan Wake had written several episodes of Night Springs, which had this Twilight Zone vibe to it. Now in Alan Wake's American Nightmare, you're playing an episode of Night Springs, and it's written by Alan Wake himself. So in Wake's world, fiction can come real. And Wake's now using fiction to his advantage. And he's learned a lot since we last saw him. There's a new kind of story puzzle in Alan Wake's American Nightmare called Rewriting Reality. So if you match the details described on a page to those of a scene, you can make big things happen. And Wake's going to need that to defeat his evil double, Mr. Scratch.
And in terms of American Nightmare, that feels like obviously a sort of side story. But
it is, yeah.
XBLA seems perfect for that kind of episodic release schedule. Is that something you're doing with American Nightmare, or is that it for the moment?
Well, you know, for American Nightmare, well, if I tell you a little bit about the inception of American Nightmare, how it kind of started. So, you know, after Alan Wake, believe it or not, we do actually read our emails and our Facebook and stuff like that. And we were looking, after we'd released Alan Wake, that it was kind of universally kind of accepted for, or praised, more praised for the storytelling and for the episodic structure, the cinematic feel to it, the character. A lot of things that, you know, people were perhaps asking a little bit more for were more action and more escalation in weapons. We just felt that we couldn't really do it in Alan Wake because he's a writer, he was an everyman, he was not a commando, he was not a space marine, and we felt that it would have, you know, pulled somebody out of the experience of this psychological action thriller if all of a sudden you would have given him a Uzi or an SMG and he's, you know, shooting around. So we didn't feel that we could do that kind of escalation in the original Alan Wake. So we said to the team that, you know, just throw in to white boxed levels wilder enemies and wilder weapons. We don't know how we're going to use these, but let's see what develops from there. And that's what they did. We had these white boxed arcade levels where we threw on all these wild enemies and wild weapons, and, you know, the people at the office were really enjoying it. You know, Alan Wake's American Nightmare does fit into the whole fiction of Alan Wake. There is a lot of extra story content in there that's connecting the dots to the first game, but as said, it's a standalone spin-off experience, so anyone could pick up and play. But I think your question was kind of, where is the franchise going? And I think you know, the answer there is that the IP, the intellectual property, is ours, and it's very close to our hearts. We worked a long time on it, and you can expect more Alan Wake in the future.
I've got to talk about one of your other big properties, which was Max Payne.
Sure.
And Rockstar are now producing Max Payne 3.
Yeah.
I understand Remedy has a kind of consultant role on that.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, we've been in a kind of situation that has been very nice. So Rockstar have been kind enough to show Max Payne 3 to us and ask us our opinion. But at the end of the day, it's kind of the best job in the world because you don't have to, you can say how you feel, but you don't have to do the heavy lifting. But I mean, in all honesty, Max Payne 3 looks absolutely phenomenal. It is a great continuation from Max Payne 1 and Max Payne 2. And I think that every Max Payne fan out there is going to feel that this is a step in the right direction for the Max Payne franchise. And Rockstar, they make fantastic games, you know. It's in good hands.